The Weekend in Jacksonville is presented by Stonecore on Phillips Highway, your one-stop choice to beautify your home. With pavers, stonework, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces, pergolas, and more. Stonecore, we do outdoors better.
Hello, Hicken here, ready to talk all things Jacksonville sports, brought to you by Stonecore and the beautiful Bernie Grill. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got news! Jags meeting the media, at least Peterson and Balke. All right, off the top of the list here. Peterson may or may not call plays this year. I think he probably calls the plays. Became a big deal last year. Wasn't presented in a good way at the beginning of the season. Didn't really work for a bunch of different reasons. Wasn't all Press Taylor's fault. I think Doug Peterson ends up calling plays. We shall see. Cornerback, an important piece of the Jaguars puzzle. So much so that maybe at 17 they draft a corner. Who's it going to be? Could it be Terrion Arnold of Alabama? Could it be the kid from Toledo? Could it be Cooper DeJean from Iowa? We'll have to wait and see. Could it be Nate Wiggins from Clemson? Who's going to fall? Who fits there? I still think they should go interior offensive line. I've talked about the stats. You know how I feel about the offensive line. Changes need to be made. They intimated a little bit that maybe they're thinking about kind of running it back a little bit with that O-line. We already covered that. We know that would not be, in our opinion, the best way to go, but we'll have to see about that. Want to get a Josh Allen deal done, want to get it done quickly. Why? Because I think they want to keep Calvin Ridley, and they know if Calvin Ridley gets to free agency, he gone. Why? Because he's been moved up the board because Mike Evans is probably going to stay in Tampa, right? Cincinnati franchised their receiver. Pittman's going to be in Indianapolis. So that puts Ridley as the premier guy, which means somebody's going to overpay. Don't let him get to free agency if you want to keep him. If you want to keep him, he gone if he gets to free agency. I think that's pretty clear. So a lot of pressure on the Jags to get things moving, get things done with Josh Allen, which means you're going to have to pay him a lot of money because he knows that too, and so does Ridley. So we'll see what happens. But a lot of Jaguar talk going forward, and we'll see how it all starts to play out as they put together the 53-man roster through the draft and free agency, which, by the way, free agency just around the corner. Could they be in the market for one good free agent? Let's hope so. Listen, Gator basketball team keeps rolling, got another victory. They're not only in the tournament, now they're playing for seeding, and they'll have opportunities. They still have Bama. They have a trip to South Carolina this weekend, and they have Vandy. You win 2 or 3 and do well in the SEC tournament, man, I think you can move up to a 4 or 5 seed if you do real well. If you do then you're probably 6, 7. If you do terrible, you can fall back to an 8 or 9, but you're in the tournament, so congratulations. Todd Golden's done a great job. He hit on every transfer portal guy, hit on his 2 freshmen, so terrific job by Todd Golden. And high school teams everywhere playing for state titles, basketball, soccer, male, female. So congrats to all. We'll talk about that next week because we'll honor some of the state champions. Let's hope we have a bunch. That'll do it. We'll talk to you next time on Jacksonville Weekend in Sports.